What's up? This is Sledge with 5 intermediate tips for Evil Dead the game. This is for if you've already figured out the basics and you need something that's, not too advanced, but a little more getting into kind of the meta and how you should be playing. Um, Before we get started, let me just say, hey, if you aren't already, I'd appreciate it. If you would subscribe, why not? Do it. I don't have any cool pitch. I just wanted to tell you to do that. Anyway, number 1, let's get right into it. Let's not waste any more time. Then the first thing is give high-level ranged weapons to hunters on your team first. Seems super self-explanatory, but if you see someone on your team who's playing a hunter, you could see the class in the menu. I believe it's Evil Dead 2 Ash, Ed Getley, Kelly, and Amanda. You see anyone playing them and you get a really good ranged weapon out of a box, give it to them first because they get crazy buffs to ranged weapon damage. That's all there is to it. Just give them the gun. And number 2 goes hand in hand with that, which is give really high level good melee weapons to your warriors. Your warriors are going to be AOD Ash, Scotty, and Henry the Red. To kind of piggyback off that, try to give any sort of weapons that a character is proficient in to them. So for instance, Kelly has a ability that makes her better with the meat hammer. Give her a meat hammer if you see one. Ping it for her if you have one on your team. The same goes for Army of Darkness Ash and a chainsaw. The same goes for Evil Dead 2 Ash and a double barrel. The same goes for Arthur and the sword. There's more out there. I think Ed Getley specializes in a crossbow or something like that. So try to learn who specializes in what, and if you have one in your game, ping that weapon for them. If they don't want it, then you can pick it up. But basically, if you're not playing a warrior or a hunter, you want to take the scraps. If you are playing a warrior or a hunter, make sure that you try to communicate with people that you need things. If you're not using a mic, the best thing that you could do as a hunter is use your scroll wheel, hold down whatever your ping button is, and you get a little wheel there that you can scroll to and ask for ammo. That's really important if you're playing a hunter. So yeah, just try to take what you need, leave things for the classes that are supposed to have them, and make sure you ping that you need something if you are playing that class. Number 3 is give all your extra shemps and amulets to your support. There's kind of a common theme here, as you can tell. So yeah, give all your extra shemps and amulets to your support. They could use it and they get that AoE healing ability. Whether they use an amulet or they use a shemps, they get an AoE heal. So make sure you're always giving it to them because it's better that they get some of the amulet and all your teammates get it as well. That's especially important towards the end of the game. Really important that you give all your healing items to her because you're all going to be, or to any support, because you're all going to be close together anyway. And it's just way more efficient for your supports to have your healing items. If you're playing support, make sure you're constantly pinging for those things when you're out of them. So if you're out of shemps, you're out of amulets, or even if you're just low on them, hold down that ping button, scroll over to ask for amulets, to ask for shemps, and hopefully your team will drop them for you. Number 4 is don't activate your flashlights unless you're indoors or near an area where items will spawn, like the campfire that you see on your screen right now. That's an example of a place where items will sometimes spawn. Don't waste your flashlight. It's just not necessary. Like, there's no reason to have it on. It doesn't lower your fear or anything like that. Flashlights literally have no effect other than revealing hidden items. So you should only have them on when you're in an area where hidden items can spawn, which is indoors or near places like campsites. The other thing about flashlights is please do not have them on when you're in the middle of a fight. If you're like doing the dagger step or the pages or any of the last few objectives, don't have your flashlight on because it makes it harder for your teammates to see. And it's especially a pain for the hunters on your team because your light is so bright your hunters can't see to aim their shots, and it makes it almost impossible to hit headshots if your bright blinding light is shining in their eyes. Like you'll see it, I'm sure, if you play enough of this game. It's really hard to see if you have a teammate shining their flashlight right in your face. So the fifth thing is you get iframes on your dodges, and it'll allow you to avoid certain attacks. I believe you could avoid every attack in the game. Right there, you can see I just did it on that electric attack. So you get iframes even if you're not moving out of the way of something. So that big AoE that the dark ones just did, you actually do not have to get out of the circle to avoid that. You can actually dodge while you're in the circle, and if you time it right, you'll avoid the damage. And that's true of any AoE attack in the game. Like if the Demi Elagos uses their AoE electric attack, you don't even have to get out of the electric area that they create. If you just time the dodge right to when the lightning comes down, you'll avoid all damage. There's also a little AoE attack that the skeletons do for the necromancer. You've probably seen it. It makes that whoom noise, and they like take their spear and slam it on the ground. That one is really, really easy to dodge and get iframes on, where you could just kind of dodge around them. And even though you're within the AoE, as long as you time it right, again, you'll avoid damage. So yeah, iframes, really important. Learn the timing of attacks, and you can avoid taking damage, even if you didn't necessarily like get out of the way. So those are my top 5 intermediate tips for Evil Dead the game. I hope it helps you. If it does help you, let me know in the comments. And if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. All that good stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.